Welcome back to Let's Play Amnesia, The Dark Descent. Last time, we made our way into a cellar and I threw a bunch of boxes around. Thought everything was shaking for a moment. But yes, I threw boxes. I really... Okay, why does it keep the frame rate twitching? Stop that. Anyway. I really cannot state just how much I love the physics engine for this game, and this game in particular. Just the fact that you can pick up random things and interact with them, throw them. It adds a sense of immersion. Go away, little hissy thing. I'm looking for secrets. I have found bowls. I shall wear it as a hat. I failed. I failed. Get up here, hat. I'm a ghost. The hat went through me. And there's the whale I have previously spoken of. The walls are full of whales, just as ever, and there's a rotting loaf of bread, or a rotting loaf of bread, I suppose, is what I was going to say. This is the noisiest mansion I have ever seen. He fell to the kitchen floor. Tears were beginning to well in his eyes as he received the first kick in his stomach. Hazel remained hidden in fear she too would be punished. A kick in the stomach is not what I would classify as punishment. I mean, I wouldn't classify it as a good thing, I just wouldn't put it in a list of things you should do as punishment to somebody. Especially if we're referring to a child. Well, extremely especially if we're referring to a child. Oh, it'll open without a key. I just need some C4 or a sledgehammer. Preferably both. Sledgehammer strapped with C4 that will detonate the moment that the hammer impacts the surface. That would be very logical. And probably send the sledgehammer flying backwards hilariously. Well, not hilarious for the guy holding the sledgehammer. There is a spider web here, and just appreciate that beauty. Like, the game designer took the time to stick a spider web there instead of just having more little stone staircase bars. Little details that make a big impact. The archives. Traveling to Dover meant going through Canterbury. He made sure to pay a visit and avoid the sense of guilt connected with neglect of family. That door has been knocked off. Let's go that way first. The library. I'm gonna hazard a guess that that's where we get the word library. Hello, little hissing friend. Yes, hiss to you too. I am searching for stuff. And yes, I know there's a note on the table. I'm just checking for other stuff first. Making sure that there's no missing doodads.
16th of May, 1839. The unflinching African sun has continued to plague our expedition, making it impossible to dig until dusk. How Professor Herbert managed to find the location in these vast plains of nothingness remains a mystery to me. When I asked him about the tomb again, he told me about the legend of Tin Hanan, the mother of us all. An interesting story in its own right, but I can't help feeling there's more. Later that evening, we uncovered a passage beneath the dunes leading to a sand-covered stone structure. The professor was confident it was the tomb we sought and ordered the others to clear the way late into the dark, cold night. Tomorrow, I shall lead the men into the ancient structure, hoping to reach the burial chamber. No matter what the professor is keeping from me, the dig should yield something interesting to take back to London and the British Museum.
Oh no! The British... Shush you. Oh no, the British Museum. Will you stop being hissy? Stop throwing a hissy fit over there. The catalog. I forgot to open the door. Just pulled the doorknob, and, I mean, just turn the knob and let go. Well, technically there's no knob, but... Okay, you know, that's something I actually... Standing in a dark room is probably not good for my sanity. Let's find a way to fix that. That is something I'm gonna have to take as an aside real quick to criticize. These doors have no latch mechanism. They just close. Yeah, that is the sound of a latching mechanism. I know, it would be really weird if the doors closed without that sound, but I just had to notice that. I hereby offer my full attention and service to Alexander, Baron of Brennenburg. This contract will reign for a total of 3 years, where my freedom shall return to me. In addition, Alexander, Baron of Brennenburg, is to recommend my services at the Prussian royal court, and within the sanctum of the Order of the Black Eagle. May no man break this seal. Wilhelm, House of Geddek. The last time I met a Wilhelm, it did not end well for anybody involved. He threw a train at me. Nobody's ever gonna get that reference, though. Door. The catalogy. Inkwell. Woo. Chair. I clearly just knocked myself out with that chair, but... The study. Open! That is not a pleasant noise, or not a noise you want to hear. Also, another interesting thing. Those shirts are actual objects. They didn't just lazily have a drawer with shirts welded to it like... Okay, a lot of games do stuff like that, and I don't mean to call it lazy, I just found it very interesting that they actually made them objects that moved around. My complaint, though, I cannot pick them up. That hand you see is the drawer interaction. But I have to complain that I cannot then pick them up and throw them at people. I guess then it would be obvious that they're inflexible and just obviously overstarched, but... Inkwell.
17th of May, 1839. My hands tremble as I write. I feel a need to document my tribulation, for I fear that my memory will fail me if I linger. Today, I took some men and ventured into the dark, ancient passage we uncovered. Our torches burned faintly in the murky air as we slowly made our way underground. The men were superstitious and fearful. They argued loudly, and I felt their strange language getting to me. I mustered my strength and yelled at them to continue down the slopes and broken steps. The crudely carved passage confused me. It looked much older than the 4th century structure we had expected. The twisting path emerged into a great antechamber. The walls were lined with statues unlike any I'd ever seen. Despite their unearthly quality, I felt a strange familiarity toward them, which haunts me still. At the far end of the chamber, a great slab of stone sealed off whatever lay ahead. I gave the order to raise it, and as I pushed through the narrow space, the heavy stone suddenly dropped, sealing me inside. I was trapped.
Oh no! I was trapped. Wait. Okay, why were just those books in particular interactable? What are you hiding in here? Stop intruding, noises. I am busy pulling books. What are you hiding in these shelves? While I'm busy. Excuse me, door that closes on its own. Wasn't this door open too? Hello? Who's out here? A thing. Exploding thing! So I'm taking a chair and I'm chucking it at that door. Well, it kind of reached the door. The old tomes. You know, that would do a lot better if it waited until the player was looking. I hear music. And now I have the Crooked Man song stuck in my head. That's exactly what I wanted in there today. I really shouldn't be wasting it. Oh, that's not an openable box. Taunting me with boxes that look openable. Not those boxes. Those boxes I don't expect to be openable. And that's how the door shut earlier, probably. A book hit it. Well, in any case. Open the door and there's a monster just standing there. Oh, goodness. Oh, that's right. He does have some night vision. And obviously, if we slam it enough times. Yeah, no. Weren't you Was that a gurgly snarl? Weren't you playing a minute ago, Mr. Piano? I cannot press the keys. That is a sad state of affairs. Your piano is clearly broken. We'll go this way. I'm just gonna continue off the assumption that nothing wants to kill me. And I just looped back. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that is the visual effect of you are in darkness. Stop going insane. Scusa? Oh yay, blood. Blood from the ceiling. Yay, that's normal. It's not at all worrying. Just light that and throw some more stuff around. Ooh, oil. Yay, I've got a good supply of extra oil. I don't have a good supply of not extra oil, but, you know. I'll take one or the other. Nothing useful there. No, not wasting those. The tabbouleh. Well, hello there, rock slide that I think was already there before I got here, yet sounds fresh. Are you going to give me a map of the area? Tinderbox! I'll take that.
17th of May, 1839. After pounding the unforgiving stone wall for what seemed like an eternity, I realized it was hopeless. I was trapped. I fell to the ground, gasping for air, trying to focus. That's when I saw a faint blue shimmer. My weakened body was heavy to carry, but I managed to push myself toward the enchanting light.
Oh, never mind. I thought it was a cliff. I guess I have to. Towards the Orb of Doom.
It was waiting for me. Enclosed in dark nothingness, I felt myself drawn to the mystic light.
You really shouldn't have, sir. Not touch it, just stare at it. I guess I have to touch it.
I reached out, closing it in my hands. The faint glow escaped my fingers and began to spark brightly and spirit me away, unlocking alien memories of spiraling towers, endless deserts, and impossible geometry. The next thing I can remember is the grating sound of stone being lifted, the voices of the Arabs pulling me to safety, and grasped firmly in my hands was the broken pieces of a most peculiar relic.
Somebody's playing the broken piano. Couple things I have to criticize slightly. You really could have shown me images of said spiraling towers and whatnot. What was the other thing? Well, the other's not really a criticism, it's more of a slight laugh, but, if you were clutching broken pieces of it, how are you sure you didn't drop any? Blue room. More stuff. Oh, lots more stuff. Would have been a shame to miss. I know you're out there, haunted piano. You can wait. Behave. That's what collapsed, okay. Well, I noticed this, and I do have vague memories of this. Chair! Chair ho crunk. You have failed me, chair. Failed me. Get back here, I need you. Oh, I forgot you can creep around corners. No, not you, chair. You. Stop tripping yourself on a brick. I think I could have gotten in there without the chair. It's not my problem.
You have to be swift when you activate the first one. You hear that? If it stops, you'll have to start over.
Isn't all this a bit excessive?
You can never be too careful, Daniel.
I'm gonna break that glass with a book. Well, that was a noise. Altstatten Brennenberg Castle, 1801. Another region rich with lore is Altstadt. I've got ore on the brain. Deep within the East Prussian woods, for centuries there have been stones surrounding the hamlet and its neighbor, Castle Brennenberg. Quiet forest-clad mountains dressed with scattered lakes is as picturesque as can be, albeit the area is haunted by the dark. Ask any local and you will hear proof of the widespread superstition. All travelers should indulge themselves in such conversations, since it will certainly serve as exciting entertainment. All of them have their own twists on the tales, but there are some motifs that keep reappearing. The Gatherers. The story reaches all the way back to the time of the 30 Years' War. It is said that soldiers who abandoned their duty got lost in the cold, dark woods and were forever doomed to roam the grounds, their bodies wrought by their tainted souls have left them disfigured and empty of essence. Many have cited them over the years and described them as horrid revenants. They move silently through the woods, shying away from any beholder. They are called gatherers as they seem to follow some ambition to steal living creatures. It is their prey which can be heard struggling inside damp burlap sacks dragged behind them which reveal their presence. What dark scheme do they follow? A visit undone. Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa, the well-known erudite, visited Altstadt at the start of the 16th century. He resided in a local inn for a fortnight as he looked for remnants of kingdoms past. During his stay, all the prominent members of society paid notice, and he is mentioned in many records of the time. One day he went to investigate a burrow in the northwestern glades, only to never be seen again. Heinrich is known to have passed away in Chernobyl some 10 years later. He dismissed the notion of ever visiting Altstadt, which makes you wonder what really happened. Who was this mysterious man who visited the sleepy hamlet in the woods, and what happened to him? The immortal Baron. The Baron of Brennenberg lives a reclusive life with his family at his castle nearby Altstadt, and like most of the those of noble birth, rumors are inherited alongside with the title. Researching the history reveals little before the castle was consumed by fire in the late 16th century. Early 16th century, okay? It was rebuilt by Alexander, a nobleman from the Rhinelands, claiming the role as protector of the Prussian state. Alexander helped the region to flourish and remained popular throughout his presumed lifetime. The family has always been secretive when it comes to lineage and heritage, therefore the birth and death of Alexander and his offspring has never been fully recorded. This has fed the idea that the Baron is in fact the one and the same who came from the west over 300 years ago, living through the time of occupation, and joined the coveted Order of the Black Eagle along with the great leaders of this country. Box. Anyway. There's a lever in here. Find the lever. Somebody call Krunk, we need his lever finding skills. Ooh. How did I miss that? Oh. Aha. There's a third one? Hey, Krazu. Aha. Okay. Well, that's a thing. Closed off room with no exit that happens to have a hiding space closet in it. That is not concerning at all. Ooh, a note. Wilhelm and his fools have endangered my research long enough with their absent-minded handling of the human vessels. The sheriff is keeping a watchful eye on its forest and is killing my trusty servants. It's just a matter of time before they follow my trail back to Brennenburg. I need to lock Wilhelm and his men up to avoid further investigation from the public. The wine cellar will therefore be sealed off until the matter has been handled. Either the king's men leave or they will starve. Whatever comes first, they can rot for all I care. Maybe I will feed them some wine. It should, in a sense, solve both my problems. Yep, that's happening. I knew that was coming, but... I still hear faint sounds. Okay. Well, that's a thing. Where was I? Oh, I know. I've got the key to the wine cellar. Well, the study is blocked off. That led me nowhere. Where was I trying to go in? Yes, the key. Not going that way. Holy yes! Hey, whoosh. Okay, game. You want to play that? You know what? Can I carry? I am carrying a brick. Who wants to mess with me now? I have a brick, and I am not afraid to knock myself out with it. What you gonna do then, huh? Okay, I thought that was the exit. Handful of sand trickled from the crumbling stone ceiling and pushed down on the brim of his hat. He braced himself as the cavern suddenly shifted and settled. Ow! Ah! Oh, hello, cancerous growths. Ow. Okay, don't stand on the growths. Oh, great, my health is untainted. Wasn't that staircase, you know, in one piece earlier without the scratch mark, and the spider web is still there, though? That's all good. Place is falling apart at the seams. That is the wine cellar key, as I suspected. But can I light that if I jump really, really high? I think I'm gonna go ahead and pause here, and I will see you next time.